And how you guys doing? This is very important in reference to the violations of corporate law and in reference to estate law and business law. I'm going to need some uh, corporate attorneys in reference to many things and some social media attorneys, obviously, in reference to people that have been stealing my social media revenues. And in reference to political people or government people accusating against me, they have to be charged. They have fabricated against my parents for over 50 years plus. These people and their slander, they must get charged for political slander crimes of their politicians back then, or whatever year it was, or time and date of their accusations against my parents. And in reference to corporate law, my ownership is my ownership. I'm not going to tolerate any tricks or anybody's games. Everything has to be followed by the exact corporate law in reference to advertising my identity, advertising who I am, advertising who my parents are, advertising what I'm the owner of. It has to be done. Somebody doesn't like it, that's the point. It doesn't matter. Those people have to be thrown out of the companies, or they have to be fired or prosecuted for trying to cover up my ownership, covering up my financial status in reference to who my parents are, people blocking me from my revenues, blocking me from my trust funds, blocking me from living my life. And every accusation they have tried to use in their game of lab rat hostage games, or them trying to play, they're trying to put somebody's life under their microscope of their German party. I'm not going to play it. So, in reference to any of these people and their accusations or their manipulations, they must get prosecuted. And it's going to be funny because analyzing everything they say is going to be bigger lawsuits against them. And their public slander, their public scrutinizing, and time missed and time wasted, that they have embezzled time in their accusations and the diversion of the facts and their diversions of the history of the situation, and all their attempts of sabotage, or their attempts of blocking me from having relationships, or blocking me from being around friends, blocking me from having my opportunities that they have blocked me from: movies and TV shows and modeling and sports and all the other industries, and the fashion industry in reference to photographers that know me, and the high fashion photographers or fashion TV or sports photographers. The fact of these government people and their slander and their racism and reverse racism and their activity of accusating against me, blocking me from my friends of different ethnicities that are friendly, and they have good friendly history with me in reference to certain individuals. Corporate law has to be followed to the T in reference to basic information. It has to be followed to the facts of who I am, what I'm the owner of. Nothing's ever for sale. I'm the owner of my mother and father's estates. Whether anybody likes it or not, nothing's for sale. You can't muscle me out of the companies. I'm not going to do it. My parents built the companies. My grandparents built the companies. I'm the owner of the companies. Never going to sign, never going to sell, never going to give nothing away. I'm not allowed to. Never signed, never gave, never sold, never. So, reference to corporate law boards or corporate offices of attorneys, they need to get information to find out where people are not following the guidelines of corporate law, such as other people fronting, trying to claim to be the owners, or they thought they'd be the owners, but they're not the owners because I'm always the owner. Or people trying to play tricks, or people trying to rip off my athletic career, people trying to rip off my social media. There's got to be lawsuits and prosecution. If otherwise, they'd play this hostage game forever. And they're wasting years of my life, and they've wasted years of my relationships with females and friends that, have been put on hold because of these people, or put on the back shelf in reference to friendships or history because government's trying to play their diversionary tactics and their game of wasting years of my life, and the physical assault and abuse and all their other crimes that they have done to me. So in reference to corporate law and the licensing board of corporations, they need to go over to all the companies and say, hey, who claims to be the owner? Who's running things over here? You know, they gotta ask who people think they are. Because I'm the rightful owner of my mother and father's estates and companies forever, and that's the facts. And in reference to government denying my identity, the Treasury has had documents that say anybody that denies my identity in America, even if they were a common citizen or something, that they were supposed to do a story so everybody in the whole country knew who I am. Read those Treasury documents. Those are certified documents in reference to advertising and media, that if there was people in America that claimed they didn't know who I am, that the Treasury was obligated to do press releases and press conferences, or the companies was obligated to do press conferences and press media acknowledgments or press releases to tell everybody who I am and who my parents are. And that has to be followed to the facts.